The peace of the Lord be with you. I am Clara of Assisi. Look at my hands. They did not do great things in the eyes of the world. They prayed, they served, they washed the feet of my sisters, and also, they worked. Perhaps when you think of our life in San Damian, you imagine that we spent all day praying. We certainly prayed a lot, but we also had to cook, clean, mend our habits, care for the sick sisters, and work with our hands, because Francis had taught us that work was also a grace. That's why I wrote in our rule that the sisters to whom the Lord has given the grace to work would work faithfully and devotedly. Did you hear? I didn't just say, those who have to work. I said, to whom the Lord has given the grace to work. Because being able to offer our hands to the service of something good is also a gift. But there came a moment when my body began to weaken. For many years I was sick. It would have been easy to think, Clara, you have worked enough. Now let others do it. But as long as my hands could move, they could still love. My sisters helped me sit up. They would arrange me among cushions, and then I would take the flax, and I would start to spin, slowly, sometimes with difficulty, but thread after thread, my hands kept working. With that thread, we made canvases for the altar. We prepared them carefully, and then sent them to the poor churches around Assisi. Don't you think it's beautiful? I could hardly get out of bed, but my hands could still reach other places. That taught me something. You don't need to do extraordinary things for your life to be fruitful. Sometimes we believe that serving God means doing great works, but God also knows how to receive a needle, a thread, a broom, a tool, a computer, the hands that prepare the food, the hands that care for a sick person, the hands that quietly do their work every day. Working, however, does not mean filling ourselves with occupations. We can also work so much that we forget God. Francisco taught us something very important, that work should not extinguish in us the spirit of holy prayer and devotion. The hands can be busy, while the heart remains with God. We were trying to live in San Damian, praying while working, and working while praying. A stitch, another stitch, a small prayer, a name entrusted to the Lord. And so, the ordinary could become an offering. Tomorrow, when you start your work, before you touch your tools, before you turn on your computer, before you enter the kitchen, the workshop, your office, just stop for a moment. Look at your hands and tell the Lord, thank you for giving me today the grace to work. After that, do well what you have to do. Do it with care. Do it with joy. Do it with love. I am Clara of Assisi, and in San Damiano I learned that hands dedicated to God, even if they only hold a needle and a little thread, can also become instruments of His love. Those sisters to whom the Lord has given the grace to work, let them work faithfully and devotedly. Saint Clare of Assisi, Rule 7.